All right, today we're jumping into a place we all think we know, Egypt. But trust me, we're gonna go way beyond the postcard pictures to really get the full 5,000-year-old story. So let me ask you, when someone says the word Egypt, what's the very first image that pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably gonna be something like this. Yep. It's almost always that same powerful trio, right? These gigantic pyramids, mysterious pharaohs, and just endless golden sand. I mean, these are the images that have defined Egypt in our minds for, well, forever. But here's the thing, that's just chapter 1. It's not even close to the whole story. Those incredible ancient wonders are just the beginning of a history that spans millennia, and, it's still unfolding today. So, let's start at the beginning. We're gonna kick things off in that familiar world, the realm of the pharaohs. But our goal here isn't just to list off a bunch of facts, it's to help you really feel the unbelievable scale and ambition of their world. And first things first, a quick but pretty important piece of myth busting. The word pharaoh, it wasn't a name, it was a title, just like king or president. It was the term for the ruler. It's a small detail, yeah, but it completely reframes how we see them. Now, let's talk about scale. We've all seen pictures of the Great Pyramid, but can we really wrap our heads around how old it is? It has been standing there for about 4,500 years. It's seen entire empires rise and fall. And what about how it was built? Get this, the Great Pyramid is made of an estimated 6.5 million massive stone blocks. That's a number that's almost impossible to picture. So let's try to put it in perspective. Okay, think about this. The Great Pyramid weighs around 6.5 million tons. That's more than 10 times the weight of the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building on the entire planet right now. It just shows the mind-blowing scale they were working on. And of course, standing watch right nearby is the Sphinx. I mean, this thing was carved from a single chunk of limestone, a half-lion, half-human guardian that's been silently watching over Giza for thousands of years, just a timeless symbol of power. But Giza is just one part of this giant puzzle. So let's take a little trip south, down the Nile River, to the city of Luxor. Back in the day, this was the capital, known as Thebes. And the scale here is just different. It's all about these sprawling temple complexes. I mean, you can go to Karnak Temple and literally walk through a forest of 134 colossal columns. Then, just across the river, you've got the Valley of the Kings, this hidden burial ground for pharaohs like King Tut. And you can't miss the Temple of Hatshepsut. It's this stunning, almost modern-looking temple built for one of history's most powerful female rulers. All right, hold on, because we're about to hit the fast-forward button by a few thousand years. We're leaving those silent tombs behind and jumping right into the loud, vibrant, chaotic pulse of modern Egypt, starting with its massive capital, Cairo. So, to really get a feel for modern Egypt, you gotta look at its people. And this gives us a really important clue. Even with a megacity like Cairo, the majority of Egyptians, a full 60%, still live in rural areas. So, what's daily life actually like? Well, it's this really cool mix of the ancient and the super modern. You'll see families gathered around sharing kushari, which is the national dish, while, scrolling through Facebook, the biggest social network there. And get this for a legacy. That 365-day calendar we all use? Yeah, that was them. They invented it. But what are the people themselves like? This quote we found really captures it perfectly. The people are very cheerful and loving. If you greet them with salam, they will stand up and respond with joy. It just speaks volumes about the warmth of the culture. Okay, now for a crucial piece of advice if you ever visit. The people are incredibly warm, but the marketplace has its own set of rules. Haggling isn't just, an option, it is expected. And if you get good at it, you can drop the price by a whopping 70 to 80%. Now, beyond the markets and the daily hustle, there's this other layer to Egypt that's just so deep and fundamental. It's a land of profound faith, a sacred place for millions of people across different religions. And I mean, this place is a true crossroads of belief. You have Mount Sinai, which is holy to Jews, Christians, and Muslims. In Cairo, you have these magnificent mosques that are also centers of learning, like Al-Azhar, which is one of the oldest universities in the entire world. So we've done the ancient monuments, we've done the modern cities, but there's another side to Egypt, a landscape of natural wonders that's way more than just sand. And you can't talk about Egypt's geography without mentioning a man-made wonder, the Suez Canal. This little sliver of water is basically an artery for the entire global economy. A staggering 12% of all world trade passes right through it.
But let me just throw a crazy question at you. What if Egypt's vast deserts were once at the bottom of a deep ocean?
Well, it's not a crazy question at all, because it's true. There's a place called Wadi al-Hitan, which actually means the Valley of the Whales. And that's because the desert floor there is just covered in the perfectly preserved skeletons of ancient whales. It is an absolutely surreal sight. And the surprises just keep coming. Egypt's also home to the White Desert, which looks like an alien planet with its chalk formations, and the Siwa Oasis, where the salt lakes are so dense you can't sink, you just float. So, when you pull it all together, from this impossibly grand past to a vibrant, complicated present, from deep spiritual roots to these incredible natural wonders, it's just so clear that Egypt is much, much more than pyramids. It is a living story, still being written every single day. And that really leaves us with one final big question. With a legacy this massive and a present this complex, what's Egypt's next chapter going to be? What's the next great marvel that'll define its story?